expect more than 20 people at your shows. The European crowd just politely nod and applaud at the end of your songs. You're too much of a niche, don't expect people to recognize you there.
That's your Bloodywood, right?
Yes.
That's the Bloodywood.
Oh, fucking shit, seriously!
Bloodywood? Yes.
Bloodywood, oh my god!
Ladies and gentlemen, from New Delhi, India, here's for you. 1, 2, 3.
So this is where it all started. That house right there, first floor, that was our friend's studio. Back in the day when we used to do covers, I track the entire song at home, come here to do all the vocals because I didn't want Jen screaming at my house because I'd recently quit my job and I didn't want my parents to know I'm doing some kind of weird stuff that involves people screaming. Yeah, we used to come here, we used to grime it out for 2 to 3 days. We also used to shoot the video inside that small...
So the one thing that I'll probably actually never forget about this place, there's limited space to sleep, so me and Karan, we lie down on the floor and there's just one blanket, so either we keep the blanket under us or above us to keep us warm.
It wasn't a blanket, it was a curtain.
No, it was a blanket curtain. Oh no, it was a curtain. Yeah, it was a curtain.
It was a curtain we used to use for a blanket.
Yeah.
We'd also do the video in that very small room. It was a small recording studio. We had 2 halogen lights that were hot as... They used to have steam coming off them when we turned them on, but you know, those were the days of struggle.
So this was his process to wake me up. He will order food first, wait for it to be delivered. When it's delivered, he'll wake me up and show me food. Then, hey, food is there, let's eat. And
that's when he would wake up and we'd eat and then continue recording.
Heavy.
Yeah. Bloodywood started off as an internet band. It was just me and Jayant making metal versions of all kinds of songs. The underlying effort of all of this was to uncover a sound that had not been heard before, something that stands out the moment it's played.
After a lot of hit and trial, our first real hit was Mundiya Tu Bach Ke Rahi. What changed dramatically in our sound was the inclusion of Indian instruments. The song was in swing. We've made songs in swing since then. And of course the folk Punjabi singing.
The song did really well. Several media pages covered it, and it also got appreciation from Punjabi MC himself. Our inbox was flooded with messages from all over the world telling us how they had never heard a sound like this in metal before. This was our first hint towards the sound that we were looking for. Several videos later, including the viral monster that Tunak Tunak became, I met Rahul for the first time.
You know it, I'll say it again, the world's a fickle piece of shit. The records are the most of people that inhabited people.
This was when I met Rahul for the first time.
Yeah, we
right at this spot.
Siddharth Iyer corrected us, man. He was doing artwork for me at the time.
So he had called me to make a lyric video for one of his songs.
Yeah. But that's when Karan very gently talked me down. He's like, bro, like, you know, no matter what you put into it, like no one gives a fuck about lyrics. Like no one cares. Like you need to do something way more substantial.
No one gives a fuck about lyric videos, not lyrics.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
And then I heard
all of his music sitting right here. I think I
Yeah,
heard almost all of
everything.
the songs.
So that's what I'm saying. One thing that stood out to me about Karan in the beginning was like, you know, usually if I played music for someone, they'd start talking to me about it during the song, like when it was playing, or just be like, oh yeah, it sounded cool or something nonchalant. Like Karan always sat till the end of the song. After that, I went through like each and every like line of the song, every like lyric, all the meanings behind it and all that. And he literally listened and absorbed the whole thing. And I was like, fuck, you know, no one takes that kind of time.
That's when I thought, you know, his lyrics are so good that, you know, and we're so bad at writing lyrics. You know, I need to work with this guy.
Yeah, no.
On one song at least at that time.
Yeah. I mean, that's what, like, again, like, the friendship was there from the first day, man. I was just like, yo, like, this is a solid guy, like, I found over here. And then when we went and worked on...
I thought he was freelancer.
From there, we went and we shot our music video. We shot for her. Yeah, the first ever, my first ever music video. I've told everyone this, but I'll say it again. Karan shot, edited, and directed my first ever music video. And
I charged him a fuck ton of money.
and charged me such an honest amount of money.
Her clothes could mean it's hot outside. She's a great body, she's proud. She likes feeling the breeze on her skin, or she likes to dress loud. She wanted to get raped, don't belong on that list or any list. Don't suggest the fault lies with anyone but the rapist.
I was really impressed with his lyrics and delivery and asked him whether he'd like to do a song with us just to see how it goes. He immediately agreed, and the song we did first was called Ari Ari.
I met Rahul for the first time at the shoot for Ari Ari. I was supposed to go to my office, but then Karan insisted that it's a half-an-hour shoot. Rahul insisted that we should do it the whole fucking day, and then I didn't go.
So the whole Ari Ari video was shot in one day. We started at about 7:30 in the morning. We finished at 5:30 in the evening. I think the best two scenes to describe the whole, perfect chaos of it all was that we didn't plan like to do the scenes on a horse or a camel. We saw this man leading a horse, which is, I think usually reserved for weddings or something like that, and we convinced him to let us shoot a scene on it. Jayan shot the scene, it was spectacular, everyone's like looking at him, and it looked really cool as well. We left and we were heading towards another location, which was Billy Hart, and we happened to see a camel in the middle of the administrative area of Delhi just walking past, and like in the moment we're just like, okay, forget everything, stop the car on the side of the road. Karan, tired at the end of the day, like up since like 5 in the morning or something, gets on top of this camel and it starts lurching, he's walking through traffic. But both of them, like both those scenes happened back to back. The whole video, the whole thing was shot in one day.
No, but you forced me to get on a horse. And you forced the camel guy to give Karan the camel.
I coaxed them, but like, dude, they were great sports about it.
You were like, get on the horse! On the horse! And Karan was like, on the horse!
Yeah. Ari Ari literally exploded on the internet. There were tons of articles, reaction videos, and covers of it.
Yo, this is so cool!
Whoa, this is good.
This is blowing me away.
Oh my god! Man! In words, it was epic.
But the icing on the cake was when Ileana, a Bollywood actress, uploaded the video on her Instagram and put the video's link in her bio.
You need to know that in India, Bollywood actors and actresses are worshipped. They're literally worshipped. And the fact that Ileana posted our video's link in her Instagram, companies pay millions for promotion like that. And it just blew our minds collectively. Thanks, Ileana.
Ari Ari was proof of concept for us regarding our sound. We knew exactly where to head from there. It was time to work on our first original.
We want to write about mental and inner well-being. It's a topic that we're all personally connected with, and besides being our first original, it also became our most iconic song yet. And the song was called
Jivarai.
Ji Veere, like Ari Ari, was very well received. But this time things were different. The song managed to connect with people on an extremely personal level.
and it's been a really, really rough time. And Givré was my go-to song when I was feeling good, to empower me, and when I was feeling bad, to drag me out of it. It's just the most moving piece of music I've ever heard.
For the first time, people were getting tattoos of our lyrics, and so many of them were in their own language. We got countless messages from people who had heard the song telling us how it helped them during their dark times. Some even went as far as to say that it saved their lives. In all our years of listening to and making music, this was the first time we understood its true power. We were finally able to do what every artist eventually wants to do: help.
So for the first time, we had attention from labels, festivals, booking agencies. And at this point, we started considering doing a European tour. We hooked up with a small agency, planned 15 shows across Europe, which included 3 festivals. Now, one of those festivals was Wacken Open.
I remember that fucking day, Karan Katiyar, then something has happened. Sit down. He's like, what happened? Tell me. Karan's like, I'll tell you. I'm having massive anxiety attack. I'm like, because at that time something was happening with the previous covers or something. And then he's like, yeah, so Wacken has sent over. What do you say? Like, let's do it or not? I was screaming. I wasn't discomposed. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'll die. I'll have a heart attack. Someday I'm fucking now and my brain's gonna burst. It's a good news. Give it like a good news.
As a metal musician, it's on your bucket list to play at that place because it's the mecca of heavy metal.
Wacken invite was really surprising because we didn't have a track record as a live band.
Us being invited to play there without ever having played a single show was insane.
Like we'd been an online sensation before that. We put out videos that had a lot of success on the internet around the world, but again, we had never played as a band. Wacken turned into this goal we had to achieve, and it was a proving point as well. We do this online, we do this in music videos and stuff, but the reason we do it is so that we can go out there and do it in real life, which is where I think the biggest points are to be proved and the biggest, experiences are to be had.
To say the pressure was immense would be an understatement. To pull this off, we'd need a bassist, a drummer, an Indian percussionist, an engineer who could understand and handle our sound, a grueling rehearsal regime, and loads and loads and loads of gear and technical know-how.
Enter Roshan Roy on bass, Sarthak on dole, and Vishesh on drums. On sound, we got Sahil. He had a lot of experience doing live sound.
We did not want to compromise on our sound, so we settled for nothing less than the best. These costs were partially mitigated by the great artist deals that we got from Sennheiser, Bajao.com, Deodario, and most importantly, our sponsor, OnePlus.
We'd never been sponsored for anything before, and I had to make a lot of cold calls, but I'll tell you this, you'll be surprised by the amount of things you can get if you just ask for it.
So the 20-hour rule is something I recently discovered. It's based on this rule that in order to master something, you have to do it for 10,000 hours, and to do it well, you have to do it for 20 hours continuously.
We technically spend our nights/days at the jam pad. 20 hours per song, 20 hours of the whole set, 20 hours the entire live band. Not at one go, obviously, but it was a total of 200 hours.
2 months of deadly practice sessions.
With the number of hours spent practicing well into 3 digits, we were on fire and hungry for the stage. However,
if you go on stage for the first time, something is bound to go wrong.
Everything that can go wrong will go wrong, right?
To tackle this problem, we planned a ghost gig. We asked Shashank, a local promoter, to give us a small slot to play at a small local gig. However, everything had to be unannounced. This way, we'd get to make as many mistakes without having 100 people recording us on their phones. There were about 10 people in the audience, and it went way better than what we expected. But we still weren't happy with how we were sounding. With no more gigs happening in the city, our only option was to rent out a venue for ourselves and give us more time on the PA to sort out our live sound. In hindsight, this was probably the most important and most rewarding investment we made into the band sound.
Generic, scenery, generic.
Ow!
Generic.
I just hit my head on this. So Sahil, what are we doing today?
So we're basically figuring out our show files for the tour. We are not carrying any backline whatsoever. Everything that's happening is happening inside the box. There's an X32 over there. There's an X32 over here at FOH. And we're figuring out whatever levels we want to keep. I think that's about it. We're just making our show files for the tour.
All these unconventional things, the ghost gig, the renting out of empty venues, all the bazillion things that we did in between that don't fit into the norm of a normal band's routine, we did them because we had one aim in mind: to look and sound like a band that has played 100 shows.
We decided to play Bangalore before Delhi is because Delhi for us is home turf. You know, like we thought it would be nice to do it outside our comfort zone, and it would be a bigger challenge definitely to do it in an environment we weren't used to.
Well, James, how do you feel about our first show? Are you feeling confident?
Oh my God. Very tired. So we've got equipment for the show.
Clothes and beer. Very tired.
Yes.
Already?
No.
It's not even the first show.
Yes, then we'll fuck it up in the show.
Fuck it up in the show?
Fuck it up in a good way in the show.
So now people have been saying that you've lost weight. Do you want to prove otherwise?
I mean, yeah, I think it'll show for itself.
Flex for the camera.
Oh, I don't flex for the camera.
You don't flex for the camera. Who do you flex for?
Oh, that's a flex. Oh shit, yeah, squat gains it is. Yeah.
I'd like to say that I think it was an honest mistake.
Intentional or, you know, a mistake must be a mistake.
But the guy was like, the next band is Give It Out for Bloodywood!
If we were pumped earlier, now we were out for blood.
It was good being on stage itself, but it also made us focus on all the areas in which we had to improve.
One of the biggest reasons Raj Against the Machine tour was a success was because all of us internally were really good at giving and receiving feedback constantly.
We felt that we were kind of stiff maybe a little bit, that we weren't as smooth and coordinated. I remember that I accidentally stepped on my cable and pulled out my mic. And as my verse was coming back, I was like midway through like plugging the mic back in, and then I like got it right before the verse started. But you know, stuff like that, you look at it from the harshest possible perspective and use it to improve, which is what I think people saw in Delhi.
Bangalore was what, 80 to 100, I guess, 80 something. But Delhi was 223 in a venue that could accommodate maximum 200 people.
I'm ready to die!
I mean, when the set ended, the entire crowd started chanting Bloodywood. Like, they started chanting the name of the band. And for us, it was just like, It was just the most wholesome send-off. The crowd just showed us so much love. They were saying, like, you know, go out there. We know you're taking a big step in your lives. Like, go out there, represent, do your best. And so it was a very wholesome, like, almost like family type moment between us and the people.
If you zoom in and you see clearly, Karan Katyal is in so much tension. He's got white beard hair.
I bought a rack for the entire tour, and I just got a message from my bank that the transaction's been reversed. I don't know what's gonna happen. Transaction's been reversed. Can you help me with this?
Rahul, chalo andar.
The rack was supposed to be delivered to our hotel, but turns out the hotel refused delivery and sent it back, even though it was already paid for. Without the rack, there was no way for us to mount and actually use any of the gear that we brought all the way from India. Basically, we were screwed. So after reaching the hotel, we had to book a taxi to Kuln, the nearest city where we could buy a new one. The taxi ride actually cost us more than the rack itself. Ouch. But it was worth it because...
What the fuck is that?
What the fuck? I saw my old man suffering.
It's massive. There is no store like this in India.
I saw that he's in pain. But I know that it's in vain. Yeah.
Day 2. Okay. Day 2. Yeah. Last night was epic.
Some heavy partying. Fucking nice beer.
All of that is now was in your stomach. How's your head, Rahul? Rahul hit his head on a pole. It was a lamppost, and the lamp, I think it just stopped working. And our merchandise just arrived.
Female. It's a female t-shirt.
For you.
All autograms.
Oh yeah. It's there. Yeah.
This is our first t-shirt.
Meva, खाइए.
Yes.
Yes, you're Bloodywood.
Yes, yeah. We're playing tomorrow.
I'm so happy that you're announced to Dog Open Air, and we also gonna see you in Wacken Open Air.
Oh, awesome.
I'm so happy for that.
No.
Yes. It's all of us. Yeah. That's all
Fucking shit, seriously. You are gay. See you tomorrow. I'm looking forward.
Hey guys, you're Bloodywood, right?
Yes, we are.
Oh, I'm so glad to meet you.
Pleasure to see you tomorrow. Yes.
We did it for you, man.
I count the hours.
Every person here looks like he plays in a metal band.
Yeah, everyone.
And you look like you're in security. That band was in Steel Panther.
Some Bloodywood.
Yes, yeah.
Can I get a picture with you?
Of course. He's the metal band.
I'll be happy that you did.
You sing.
Let's go. भाई ये क्या लेके घूम रहा है?
Oh, I finished a lot.
Oh, daddy, the cash out the daddy jami sada bapu jimidar ke to leke deve kaan.
I think you have alcohol much.
Yeah.
भाई 15 मिनट का बस लाइन चेक होगा आपके पास.
Then we have to wait for Ponzi.
क्या? There were probably 400 400 or 500 people and we were to go on stage next.
I was very nervous because of the sound check, because I thought 15 minutes is way too less. I mean, in Delhi, on a line check, you get half an hour.
Out of nowhere, exponentially more people turned up.
To get on that stage after and look out at that sea of people.
I was like, fuck yeah, it's happening.
Yeah,
the people want to see us.
Yeah, I was fired up.
It was absolute madness. There were bodies flying around, my IEMs were catching weird signals.
Tech issues at Dong over there. Something or the other is going wrong.
Forgot to connect the MIDI cable.
Can't hear someone on the IEM.
Rahul's voice started clipping in the IEMs and on the PA.
After the point, you cannot hear anything. The only thing I could hear on the IEM was the click.
Yeah.
But the good thing is that we resolved them on the fly and improvised.
The people were so very supportive. I did not expect it. It was overwhelming.
They picked us back up to the level where they were like, guys, let's go. We got you.
And that's exactly what we needed to bring the house down. And bring the house down we did.
People were so very supportive with their chants, and then this one thing that actually was really heartwarming was to see a German girl on top of someone with an Indian flag. And I was like, yes, I mean, we're somewhere.
Yeah. And I think what crowned the whole moment was they asked for an encore. We get a shout from our man Stefan from the side saying, can you play one more? And we're like, fuck yeah, we can play one more. And the crowd, it was them being full throttle into it.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, it was explosive.
So much fun, you are the coolest guys I've ever seen.
Best fucking concert so far on this festival. Best show ever, you did. Thank you for the show. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Oh shit, thank you. Oh my god.
Hey, are you okay?
Yeah, I am. This is the best. You made this the best day of my life.
Oh, nice t-shirts, guys.
Oh, you got the Harlem band.
What's really like the first show So no That's amazing.
Thank you so much, man.
Can I have a picture with you?
Yeah, of course.
Bloodywood, best metal band from India. It's
Fuck yeah! Thank you. Tomorrow we play in Hanover.
Anything English is
I mean, you have.
Love your music, love you guys.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
I put your soul in the alien rock.
Let's go. Oh, you guys are the best. You guys are the best.
Thank you so much.
Bloodywood is awesome. You know, the combination of Indian music and metal, I've never heard it before.
Yeah, neither did I.
Yeah, you have to do it. Yeah, you played it right. Yes, chuck.
Oh, there we go.
It was the first time I heard you guys.
Oh, sick.
I swear to God, I broke my neck.
Hey, you're the best. You're the best. Hey.
I like your t-shirt.
Was a lovely show.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Sip, 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 sip. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
As soon as I heard that song was playing, I was like,
Adrian? Adrian, hi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hello, nice to meet you. How are you getting on, alright?
Yeah. It's been insane. Wow. Alright.
Adrian Quinn was straight out of a Disney adventure movie.
Hi, I'm Adrian. I am the road manager for Bloodywood.
When you're like this little group of adventurers going off on this grand journey,
We'll be exploring this afternoon the King's Cross area or something.
you meet like this magical guide who's going to help you on your way.
Is this it? Is this all? That's not more.
He was like a sweeter version of Gandalf.
Okay.
The first time I saw Pascal was he's in the front fucking row, dude.
Yeah.
That's where I saw him.
Bodies back all around.
Everywhere. And I saw him and I was like, this dude is on a wheelchair. And he's pumped up more than I am. So I was like, you know what? Let me get you on stage.
सारे साइड करो
Make some noise.
And after that, we got an encore, and I was like, this dude's gonna stay here with us.
Yeah, and we met him later after the show.
My name is Pascal, I'm 23 years old, living in Germany. I come from Bonn with this guy here.
Hey.
He's my best friend, and I discovered you guys through YouTube. In the dark tunnel was like, yo, this music is so powerful, it's meaningful. The lyrics are smashing the demons inside of people, and I fucking love you for that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me here backstage with you guys. I love you.
Thank you
so much.
And guess what? We released Machi Bastard on his birthday.
Yes, that was great. That was great.
We knew it was coming through. We knew that. We knew that.
It was great.
Indians, we do that, Mama.
Alright, thanks so much, man. Thanks so much.
Check. You're gonna check this with us.
Jetzt werden. Aber ich muss sagen, das war eine verdammt gute Stimmung. Also richtig Bombe. 150% gegeben haben die Jungs auf der Bühne. Man hat null was von Nervosität gemerkt, nicht mal ansatzweise. Und gefühlt jeden zweiten Song kamen die auf das Publikum zu, haben mit denen gequatscht und so weiter. Und das war der Wahnsinn.
For the first time we met, the first thing Nico told me was like, oh dude, you're from India, like it's just band I know, and he showed me the pen, pineapple, apple pen video. And he's like, I love these guys, and he's been sharing it. And then I sent Jen the message, like I think after that, there's a German guy who's a fan of yours, and I just met him right now, and now we're engaged. 2 years later.
They bonded over Bloodywood as much as they did.
We did not bond over blonde. Born out of blood.
It's cool, I did it. Take 2. मेरा नाम निको है. मेरा नाम निको है. मैं पुलिस वाला है. अबे यार, this time man.
विशेष मेरी बारी है. मैं चलाऊंगा. हट जा पैर. चला सकता है वो भाई. अबे ठुक मत जाइयो बहन की. वो देख है चल रहा टेढ़ा टेढ़ी शक्ल कर देख ले.
Why are you guys out this late? It's
because
really
we just finished the show.
Do you have a YouTube channel?
Yes.
Yo, this shit's sick. Can I promote my Instagram? Yeah. My Instagram is Y4K4R1. That's my name, bro.
Hey, Karan.
Oh yeah, you gotta look in the eyes.
Yeah, Adrian.
Your story. I love the vlog you put up, the videos that you talk about what you're doing, why you're doing it, that you're putting some Indian touch onto heavy metal and having some success with it is fucking great.
I'm such a fan of like that you bring the traditional stuff into the heavy metal as well. It's just amazing.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Bye bhaiya. Bye bhaiya.
अबे यार एक बंदा हाथ लगवा दो अपनी भैंस वाले में यार.
वो कर रहा है ना.
उसका एक ही हाथ है ना.
चल भाई चढ़ जा. अरे चल चल उनको टाइम लगेगा.
It was something that happened before the tour. Like there are these little subplots building as well. Vicelock was one of them. You know, in the sense that we got a message from an Indian guy saying, if it's okay with you, I'd love to come onto stage and propose to my girlfriend in the middle of the set.
You had a really romantic speech, huh? Prepared for the lovely couple.
Sure, man.
Rahul was going all Cupid on these two people who've been separated by countries but united by their love for metal. The love.
Boy, that's a whole story, by the way.
It was pretty cool, huh?
Wiesloch. Today, we're gonna do something different, something special. There are two people in the audience that embody the spirit of this song in a very special way. He is a metalhead from India, and she is a metalhead from Germany. Their relationship transcends boundaries on many levels.
No contingency plan in case she said no. We'd probably start playing Tunak Tunak the moment she says no.
Came to Germany, met this girl. A metalhead. I had no clue about metal until I met her. Then I heard Bloodywood. I thought there is no better place to express my love to this woman.
But the best moment when he's proposing her and I'm trying to make a video of it. And right there in the middle of them, there is Roshan like, and then I'm screaming, Roshan, hot! Oh, Roshan, get out of the shot! And he's like, yeah, wedding! Yeah.
Hi, I'm Susanna. I'm from Prague. I'm here with my mom. We came on motorcycle
To Vaishnav.
500 kilometers
Whoa.
to see Bloodywood. I love the message. I love the diversity. It's a gift message. I love the Jivarai message.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Holy shit. Wow. Wow.
शाहरुख ना तो सलमान
Now we've gotten a message on the page saying that guys, you should come here. We play a song here at the at my club, and you guys should come here to have a party afterwards. You know, chill. This was actually a first party. We didn't even party as a band before leaving or something. Nothing.
We finished, like, you know, having a few drinks at...
a few.
I mean, it was a few because the glasses were that big, no jokes.
No, it wasn't a few.
Okay.
I saw Sarthak sleeping there, it wasn't few.
Sarthak did fall asleep. I mean, like, we're in Paris, man. Like, we have to see the Eiffel Tower here for only one night.
My band left me, abandoned me. I felt like a stray dog. And then when I reached there, Rahul and Sarthak were nowhere to be seen. Karan and Sahil Sharma was right under Eiffel Tower.
This random guy just jumps out from the bushes nearby and be like, I'm from Haryana. This is a place from India. And sold us some questionable champagne.
Yes.
Trust Bloodywood to be at the Eiffel Tower at 4 in the morning and find an Indian guy selling them booze.
Yeah, we'll probably buy it from him just out of
solidarity.
We're not alcoholics.
Yep.
Follow through, you got this.
सुन रहा है?
अच्छा तो करेगा
Chalo.
I was wearing this inside my kurta, and this is what it takes to play Bloodywood show. Okay? Watch this.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh yeah.
Our very own. Our very own Milkha Singh.
जयन तू देख क्यों ऐसे बार-बार चूतिया है?
I wanted to make it naturally blood, but I wouldn't have that much blood.
Red is our color.
Wood. No, you know.
But the color's great because red's our color.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why I line it with some black.
Did you see this? Open. He made this.
Oh wow, look at that.
Yeah. So much, man. This is really special.
पानी कम है मटके में झटके में पानी कम है मटके में झटके में नीम का मत्ता कड़वा है रोशन है नीम का मत्ता कड़वा है रोशन है नीम का मत्ता कड़वा है रोशन है चवन्नी घोड़े में रोशन है चवन्नी घोड़े में
है भाई, सबके पेरेंट्स देख रहे हैं।
चलो
when we got to England, one of the first things we noticed was that we felt that we could just be a little more louder and more open, I guess, amongst each other, on the streets rather than a little more reserved. And we saw a lot more buskers on the roadside. There was a lot more hustle and bustle in the city itself.
We get to meet people
face to face.
Yeah, exactly. People are flying from all over the place, like someone coming from Italy, but when you go there, you see it, you feel it, because you feel it in their hospitality too, because you feel it that we being there is important thing for them. It's as important as it is for us to play there at the same time.
Yeah.
So you feel it, not just in everything, even the way they talk, or just ask you for a picture or to sign something. You feel it, you see it in their eyes, and that it makes it very special for me.
With all the club shows done, we were left with just 2 shows to play, Wacken Open Air and Russia's Taman Festival. While we were excited to play these 2 shows, it was a bittersweet moment for all of us when we had to say goodbye to our good friends at Armada of Secrets, the band that supported us throughout the UK tour.
I fucking love Carl, dude. Yeah. Carl still messages me. He's like, bro, anything you need.
We're all in touch.
Yeah, exactly.
They were there for us at the times that really mattered. For example, when Roshan, bass straps kept flying off, and these guys were on it, they were there, ready to help him, we sat in the middle, we didn't stop the song, nothing. The show was going on, full tilt.
To Armada of Secrets from Bloodywood. Hot.
Oh, Kalia, kidne mitte.
On our way back to Germany, we had a day off, and there couldn't have been a better place to take a pit stop and blow off some steam than Amsterdam. But little did I know that I was in for the biggest surprise of my life.
Wait, so I was saying something about 10 seats, na, to walk in. Remember, you have to trust me, na? Trust me, na? Oh my fucking God.
I just couldn't sit my ass down in India while they would perform at Wacken.
Karan and Archie are bestest of the best of friends.
I've seen them celebrate their first 1,000 subscribers, their first 1 million views, them going viral all over the internet for the first time.
5 or 6 days before we went to Amsterdam, Archie messages me and she tells me that she plans to come and surprise Karan, wants to be there for Wacken. She actually got her visa 5 or 6 hours before her flight.
I've seen them go through all those bad times, getting discouraged by people from their own home turf, from their own country. These were things very disappointing. And I remember a time where Karan even introspected whether he should quit this project. But I'm so glad he didn't. The sort of fan following they have is very true, is very pure. They actually love them. Every time I hear the crowd go, Bloodywood, Bloodywood, I literally feel like crying. I mean, this was hard to imagine, but it is so well deserved. So there was just no way that I wouldn't be there in the crowd, screaming the loudest, you know, and cheering them on such a big platform like Wacken, which is seriously no small deal.
After having the best day ever at Amsterdam, we were all set to play the biggest show of our lives, Wacken Open Air. But first I want to show you what happened at the last show of the tour. Here's a hint. We just about made it out with our lives.
Welcome to Russia. Hey, last show.
तू आई ऐसे जो झिलमिलाई ऐसे जो मन में हुई अजब सी गुदगुदी।
भाई चलते हैं यार, चलो ना। क्या कर रहे हो?
स्विमिंग आती है तेरे को?
थोड़ी
भोसड़ी का पहुंच जाएगा इंडिया वापस तैर के। साले यमुना में मिलेगा दिल्ली में।
चप्पल पहन के आना, मेरे को डर लग रहा है कुछ पैर के नीचे आ जाएगा।
तेरा मेरे हाथों में खो गया हूँ तेरी बाहों में, कैसा जादू तेरी बातों में।
First time you come to Russia?
Yes.
Wonderful. Your country, India, is cool.
You also very cool.
Small present for us.
How do we say cheers in Russian?
Cheers.
Russian. How we say?
Na zdrowie.
Na zdrowie. Na zdrowie. Thank you. Na zdrowie, boys.
At this final like send-off in Russia, the final show, there's something about it where no one was really thinking about what the show is going to be like, where it's going to be. It was all like, this is as good as it gets. Like nothing's gonna affect us right now. But at the same time, we weren't expecting what we experienced in Russia itself.
Left on the left.
We were going, and we see this nice big stage, as our van's driving up, and there's these lights going. We can hear a crowd from there. It sounds cool. Van starts turning left, and we're like, wait, we're going there, right? We're going there, right? We're going there, right? And we go, and there's this stage that's a tenth of that size, with very little lights and nothing else going on this beach. That has about a scattered audience of 20 or 30 people.
At that point, yeah.
At that point. All of us are a little, bummed a little bit by it being okay, but at the same time, in the moment itself, we also realized that this is the expectation with which we were brought to tour, in the sense that this band who's never played before, they wouldn't give us a headlining slot or a big slot. We've gone so far, but it reminded us of where we were at before. And I remember getting on stage and everyone was in a mood. We were just like, yeah, come on, let's just do our best. It's cool, man. This will be a good end. Let's not be arrogant about it. It's our stage. Let's own it.
Okay. Last है, एक रुकना. Last है. तो सबसे पहले ज्ञान का ना ज्ञान का, ज्ञान का ब्रह्मांड का. ज्ञान का ब्रह्मांड का. हाँ. ज्ञान का ब्रह्मांड का.
Telling me as we are just about to start, he looks at me and he's like, what's the bet that there's going to be 100 people over here at the end of it? And sure enough, this crowd starts growing as we're playing our set. But I think the moment that was most telling for me was that in the middle of it, I look up and I see a fire dancer dancing in the middle of the crowd. And it's just yeah, man, you don't need, it's great to play on those huge stages also, but these small moments also make you think and realize how far you come.
It's
and
sort of
always,
a lesson. That's
just be humble about it.
Yeah.
That no matter how far you go and whatever, just remember.
Because even the crowd, the energy, the love that we felt, it was just the same. So I mean, it doesn't matter if there are 15,000 people or if there are just like 5 people.
Ow! कौन घुमा रहा है? तू बैठेगा? विशेष? भाई कार में नहीं भाई. चलो.
Rahul, you have to stop when I tell you.
Stop when I no ground rules, not the first. Whenever we say you stop because it's too
This is the first night we have off after the tour. So obviously we're letting loose. I think Karan and Sahil devised this like evil game.
They put a little bit of vodka and a lot of ice cream and give it to me. Like, try it out. I drank it. I like it. And then they're like, now the catch is you have to finish the whole bottle in 20 minutes.
You mix it up.
Heavy voice, you say
Everyone's like decently drunk at this point, and we hear this gentle knock on the door that seems to cut through all this loud Bloodywood conversation. A woman at the door tells us there's a hurricane warning. You have 15 minutes to get onto a bus and leave.
Call Daniel right now.
A hotel which is a kilometer away from the sea, considerable amount for there to be seawater in our drive.
Don't worry about it.
If we don't go right now, another bus won't come. It's raining.
Okay.
So
आगे बहुत ऊंचा है बहुत ज़्यादा है भाई आगे.
We had to carry everything we owned, especially our equipment more than anything else, on our shoulders at points like in waist high or like high water to a bus which we weren't sure about whether or not it was coming.
कौन सा गेट खुला है? भाई वो छोटा वाला गेट खुला है वहाँ पे. इसको धक्का देना होगा. Rahul, be careful, there's a step behind you, okay? Sahil, ध्यान दे तुम लोगों. Normal in Russia. Okay.
It was, I'd say, a very poetic ending, in a like tongue-in-cheek kind of way to the whole tour.
Poetic, very poetic.
It was poetic, man. Walk-in was like the center of everything we were doing, right? This is the moment we were building up to. Karan is eating breakfast. He's up the earliest. A walk-in official walks up to him and says, "Do you have any idea that you're about to miss your shuttle?" And Karan literally just drops his cutlery and like says, "I'm sorry," and goes and rounds everyone up.
Your phone's been ringing. I've been driving. I was taking my carry-on bag by mistake. Hey Adrian, thank God you made it. Thank God, let's go.
I need to get my bag from the room.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I said, Adrian was a part of the family in the sense where he literally, his contract with us had expired at this point, but he wanted to see us through all the way, and he definitely wanted to come to walk in with us because I think he felt the importance, of the moment for all of us.
This is
all good. Yeah.
Yay, let's go!
Yay! We've got, this is beer, I think.
Wacken water.
Wacken water, okay.
Very tasty.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're
welcome. Enjoy the festival.
May I please show you my with me? 'Cause I love you to know
we looked out beyond the curtain and we'd seen like, you know, like a scattered audience, like, you know, like a small crowd.
I was practically not just preparing myself, but even the band. Guys, if there are 100 people, don't get disappointed. It's Wacken. It's bound to happen.
And we had a midday set as well.
Yeah, midday set. Nobody's going to be there. So, I mean, yeah, just like do not get disheartened. It's bound to happen.
Over those 15 minutes, all of us are just there, like checking equipment, like, you know, like firing each other up. It was cool. It was the first time a curtain was being raised on us or drawn on us, by the way.
So I freaked out and I saw more people coming in.
We felt them before we heard them.
And the curtains have been open again.
Suddenly, it felt like there was a much bigger presence on the other side of that curtain. And we started doing the final checks. So, first, Karan starts playing the flute. There's this massive roar from the other side of the curtain.
Look at the crowd going.
Jayan starts, I start.
The pre-chant starts at Wacken Open Air.
Third time people are chanting Bloodywood.
And it's just this massive sea of, like legit sea of people. And we're like, boys, this is it.
For every person who said we wouldn't make it, there were hundreds who believed we were destined to. For every word of ridicule and dismissal, there were thousands in encouragement. This story isn't just about us. It's about the ones who believed in us. The ones who consider us family without ever having met. The ones who shower us with hope while ignoring their own misfortunes. The ones who smile the brightest while battling their inner demons. This story isn't just about us. It's about the brave ones who wear their battle scars with pride. And we were about to play for 15,000 of those people.
generation. Remember those who raised before. With the love to our heart to the core. We're ready for more. Rise up and get on the attack. Become the generation of break the cows back. Break the cows back. Break the cows back. Rise up, get on the attack. Become the generation of break the cows back. That's the one thing you're talking. Hey, that's the hit to the honky. What? Man, they got to who's talking. Brace now. Ooh. My team, I gotta make it. My team, I gotta make it. Be in the sun. My team, I gotta call it. Look at me, look at me. Come on, make it be in the sun. My team, I gotta make it. My team, I gotta make it. Be in the sun. My team, I gotta call it. Look at me, come on. Come on, make it be in the sun. Walking high, I'm ready to die. The rare kind of guy who's willing to try. Take the big shots at the big boys. Boom, boom, bang. Big noise, shake it up, I got the big toys. Grab the bus with the best of the rest. Grab the power by the neck and put it to the chest. No flag on my bulletproof vest. Talk to my heart so I never get yes. Here are those who came before. Feel what is yet to come. Know what you're fighting for. It's why we go to war. That's the one thing about me. Hey, that's the hit to the honky. What? Man, I gotta be, man, I gotta do the honky. Hey, brace now. Move. My team, I gotta make it. My team, I gotta make it. Be the sun. My team, I gotta call my name. Look at me, come on. Come on, make it be in the sun. My team, I gotta make it. My team, I gotta make it. Be the sun. My team, I gotta call my name. Look at me, come on. Come on, make it be in the sun. It's a fight that goes beyond bad and good. It's a fight that goes beyond bad and good. That's the one thing you don't get. That's the thing to belong get. Government, the government, the gun, you don't get. Fucking jump! My team, I gotta make it. My team, I gotta make it. Be in the sun. My team, I gotta call me. Look at me, come on. Come on, make it be in the sun. My team, I gotta make it. My team, I gotta make it. Be in the sun. My team, I gotta call me. Look at me, come on. Come on, make it be in the sun. What's up, Walker? How the fuck are we doing? We are Bloodywood from New Delhi. You've seen us rock your screens, but here we are, right here, right now, in the flood!
And this wouldn't have been possible without your love and support. So make some noise for yourself! Thank you!
But Walker, now it's time to dive deep. Our decisions, our reactions to the worst things that have happened to us will tell us a lot about ourselves. We all have one or a few moments in our lives that have tested every brain cell, have challenged every fiber, have torn us down and ripped us up as they did it. We've all been at our worst. But if we move past those moments
if we use them to learn, if we use them as fuel, our worst moments will create our best ones.
Walker, your strength, your undying spirit is why you are triumphant. And we are celebrating your spirit of endurance. Because as we bleed, we feed the seed, and we wear a battle scarred with pride. This is endurance.
Got
We've battled. We've fought. And walk in open air. Today, we move as one. But for now, the fighting is done. For now we hunt. What we're hunting is a monster. A disease that has killed many of us. Yet many of us don't seem to believe in it. It lives at the bottom of a deep, dark pit. It has many faces. It takes many forms. Maybe that's why it's so hard to believe in. This monster, it has a name. It's called depression. Walking. How many of you have faced this monster called depression or know someone who's facing it? Raise your hands up. Look around you. Look around you and see how many lives this monster affects. And we still don't talk about it. Raise your fists up if you're ready to fight this monster. Let me see your fists up in the air. And for you, we've got just one thing to say. This is Rage Against the Machine. And today, walking open air, you are the rebellion. Thank you. We are one big family, man. Can we all just come closer for a picture? 3, 2, 1. Make some noise!
And with that, we achieved what we set out to. While our story is just beginning, and the battle will always be uphill, we move forward with the knowledge that risks are worth taking, that stereotypes are worth fighting, that obstacles will always be endless, but never unbreakable, that family can't be contained by blood, race, or color, and that seemingly impossible dreams are the ones worth chasing the most.
You motherfuckers better get it high, high. You motherfuckers better get it high, high. You motherfuckers better get it